Greetings YouTube, this is running challenge 1, so to speak. So I decided I'm just going to get a mile in, pick up the pace a little bit. Yeah, I tried to have a faster pace, but at the same time it wasn't super fast. I started off kind of gradual, kind of around about an 8-minute mile pace. So as I started approaching kind of the halfway point, about 3/4 of a mile, I started picking up the pace and dropping down to just under a 7-minute mile pace. And I carried that until about a mile and a half when I decided to call it. And I didn't want to do too much. The heart rate can get up to like 160, 170 beats a minute as I get to 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles. Now, the significance of this examination, this analysis right here, is that we have a running challenge 2 coming out, and I got at least 2 special guests doing the challenge with me, running the full 5 miles. I'm really excited for that. I'm doing good with my training so far. At this point, it's a matter of taking up the volume. Going into this next week, these next 2 weeks, I'm going to be going from that 1.5 miles to 2.5 miles, 3 miles, and then we're going to hover probably around 3.5 to 4 miles towards the end of September. I'm hoping I can be between 3.5 and 4.5 miles around that time. The point is like establishing my pace, kind of my aerobic capacity, my endurance to last me the full 5 miles at my set pace. So we're going for an 8-minute pace, just under an 8-minute pace on average for all 5 miles. But we're going to have 2 or 3 of those miles be well under 8 minutes, close to about 7 minutes. So I have to train at those speeds too. I got to train at 7 minutes. I got to train at 6:30 and even lower than that, touching on 6, so that I'm just ready for that aerobic wise. So let's finish looking at this run from the other day. Like I said, just 10 minutes. Cadence, really, really slow. This is a pretty slow pace for me. I like to run a little faster than that. The greater my cadence can be, the better. And I got to keep that in mind as I progress in my training. So I want to aim for probably 160 to 165 steps per minute. A vertical oscillation is not great. You know, it says it's green right here. I'm in like 30 to, 69 percentile, meaning that it's average. But it got better. It improved later on in the run as my pace increased. So, hey, there we go. Got to keep that in mind too. Those higher cadences correspond to a lower vertical oscillation. So the vertical ratio, you can read it right here, is basically the vertical oscillation, which is your displacement of going up and down as you run step by step, divided by your stride. So essentially, it's a measure of your running efficiency, because your vertical oscillation, the higher it is, the more energy you're expending. That's not what you want. You want to minimize your vertical oscillation, and you want to maximize your stride length without overstriding, of course. Because every time you go up and come back down pretty hard, your muscles have to absorb that, and over time that adds up. Wears out your muscles, tires out your muscles a little quicker. So I try to cue for myself, again, like I said, keeping my head up on the string, keeping it stationary, straight ahead pretty much.